I was not destined to be a leader, or I didn't see myself as a leader. But I acquired knowledge. I was school administration, business school, accounting major, chartered accountant, lecturer at stock exchange, did business in the SME sector for 15 years after military. And at this year, I would say that don't be in a rush as you try to succeed or become a leader. At the age of 45, when my wife had left me with my kids because my life, there wasn't much to it. Not in so many words, but I knew that I wasn't up to the level she was expecting. So anyway, she left with my 2 daughters. So at 45, I had a broken home and I was broke. But then this is what I say, that you do get a call. The call comes in this way. As you go around your business, you meet a situation which you find very, very wrong, and it irritates you, and you can't go to bed. Or if you are in bed, it's like, this should not happen in my country. This should not happen to people. The question is, can you do something about it? Because we are all in this world to make an impact on the world, and we are supposed to find it. Anytime something irritates you to a fault and you think it's wrong and has to change, that's your call. Mine came because as I was doing business, I went to the banks. Anytime I had a business, I wanted a loan, they won't give me. They would throw me up and down for 3 months and disappoint me and so forth. At one point, I said, I'll do something about this. What does it take to lend? I have a degree. I have knowledge in finance. I was teaching finance. I've done business for 15 years, so I know the SME sector. So I said, I'll lend and lend differently. And that is when we started with Unique Trust Financial Services in 1997. And I was 45. Now, of course, the MC went through their achievements and acknowledgements, and most respected CEO, and we built a company, initially with a staff of 3, to call it a conglomerate. We had a bank, we had a properties company, we had logistics company, we had a life insurance, and others. And from staff of 3, at our best point, we were employing directly 2,500 people plus, all within a space of about 15 years. And this was done in Ghana and in Africa for that matter. So it can't be done. Now, how do we do it? And that's where I want to share my experience to you, how you lead differently. Because with all that Dr. Samankra said, unless the leadership style is different, because we can't do the same old mistakes, commit the same old mistakes and expect different results. In a normal society, business society, any business that you're running, and a country is a business, if you ask me, there are 4, not plenty, 4 critical success factors, 4 things that will make you successful or not. 1, you must have a product or a service which people want. That's the first thing. You must have a product or service. 2, you must have customers who are excited about the product or service and therefore will give you their custom or patronize your business. 3, there must be profit in the business. Otherwise, after a while, it will collapse. So there must be margins. That is, you make a profit on whatever you spend. And the 4th is that You should have the people, as in the team or the members of the group, who are dedicated and well motivated to provide this product or service and also deal with the customers and therefore make a profit. I want to repeat 4. 1, there must be a product or service with its processes of delivery. 2, there must be customers who are excited about your product or service and therefore will come again and other people will join. 3, there must be profitability. If the business is not profitable, it will collapse. 4 is that there should be the people who are delivering these products and services under the leader. Now, of all these 4, I will narrow this to 1. That is the people. Because, not to belabor the point too much, the people will be dealing with the customers to ensure the customers come again or you attract more customers or not. The people are going to produce the product or services, and therefore it depends on the people. The profit will come as a result of whatever is happening. So the critical factor that will ensure success is the people, your team, or in this case, the citizens, as in Ghana. That is where we have the problem. Now, I'm going to try to get you to think and reflect on the people. Because if you get the people right, you get it right. If we dwell on leadership, it becomes a bit abstract. But we can all be leaders. And we choose leaders from amongst ourselves. So the issue is, how come we in Africa, or the black man, cannot get the kind of leader like the Lee Kuan Yew that Doc was referring to? How come? So I'm trying to go beyond the normal accusations, and seriously, the black man is not bad as in just bad, but it's understandably bad. So we are not bad, but understandably we are bad. What do I mean? Let me give you some example before we get there. I traveled to the north of Sweden. If you want to know why I went there, I was telling people that I want to ski, because I'm from Kukrantumi. There's no snow here. I want to go somewhere and ski, because I see it in cinema. So I went, and I was just observing and reflecting on things. The trees there, cedar tree or whatever, the trees have 4 months to blossom, flower, bear fruit, and go back into hibernation. Because you think the tree is not active or is dead. It's waiting for that 4-month summertime to be productive and go back into hibernation. So if a tree cannot adapt to that kind of situation, that tree will die. So there are no odum, no mahogany, no. That the thing they are doing in Africa and growing every time is not there for them. Then I also noticed, amongst others, that the whole country, at least north of Sweden, everyone knew how to ski. Old ladies, old men, 90 years plus, you come from your house, you ski to the bus stop. In the bus, they have compartments to put your gear. And when you get out of the bus, you wear and ski to supermarket at age 90. Now, put that one aside. It's a fact that in this world, people who are disadvantaged, like people who don't even have the upper arms, do wonderful things with their lower legs, with their legs. They can dress up, they can even drive with their legs because they don't have the upper hand. To come back home, let me just generalize. The environment shapes the lives of every living thing. Or every living thing adapts to the environment because that is your surrounding. That's what you have. Now comes the African, the black man, who is failing in leadership. For some reason, God loved the black man so much, God put us in the best part of the earth. You don't have to know geography to know what I'm talking about. God put the black man in the best part of the earth where there's greenery, there's the forest, there's the gold, there's whatever. Don't mention gold. That one, it was underneath our feet. We didn't even know about it. There was timber, but to sum it up, there was absolute abundance. Our forefathers didn't have to even plant. They ate freely for hundreds of thousands of years. And if you have a child and you love that child so that you don't even correct the child, don't shout at the child, you dote on the child, anything they want to give to the child, that child will not turn out well. That's real life. Now, when God put us here, not only did he put us in the Garden of Eden, but he also protected us. No natural hazards, no tsunami, no hurricane, no tornado, no volcano, nothing. At best, rainstorm. A rainstorm, if you get banana leaf, when it finishes raining, you throw it away, you are okay. So you can find mad men roaming the streets of Africa. At the age of 70, they won't die. At the age of 70, you see madmen roaming around, they won't die. Compare and contrast in the Western world where there's snow, where there's tsunami coming at some places, what the tornadoes. You cannot find madmen surviving unless the state takes care of them. In a nutshell, what I'm saying is that the problem we find in African leadership is because of the abundance, and I call it the theory of abundance. In any society, for every living thing, you will struggle to make a living, but if you don't have to struggle, you take it for free. I'll digress a little bit. There's a writer called Bob Lupton, and he talks about toxic he says, if you give somebody something free, the first time they appreciate it. It's appreciation. Oh, thank you, thank you. Second time, give them free again, they anticipate it that, oh, I think we may get it again. You give them the third time, now they become expectant of it coming. You give them the fourth time, it becomes entitlement. They're entitled to it. And the fifth time, you've developed dependence. Now here in Africa, we lived in the best part, not once, not twice, not three, not four, not five. Every day, it was there for free. All you had to do at best when I was growing up, you probably have to move to the next village. because the food here is difficult to get. And the story of Africa where a fruit falls down is best about 1 meter away, and he looks at the fruit, says, I'll wait, one will fall down. Yes, here. So, what did this do to Africans? You can list the vices. And this is not about leadership, it's about all of us. But don't forget, the leader comes from us. 1, we are lazy. Because why should we push ourselves? We don't respect the next person, generally. Why? Because I have everything I need. He also has everything he needs. So if I need somebody at all, probably about when I die, the people who bury me, so just immediate family. So Africans generally don't respect the next person. If you want it feely, when you are in traffic, and some trotro or taxi-man has bought ice water, he will wait, give his 5 cedis, take his 2 cedis change, all the cars behind him can wait. He doesn't care. That's a typical African for you. We don't know maintenance. If some of the good things are getting rotten, why would you go and maintain what you have? We are envious of each other. Why? Because we all eat freely. Then you want to show that you are better than me. How? I'll bring you down. I have to bring you down. And we are jealous of each other. And the list goes on and on and on, and it's all coming from the overabundance that we enjoyed. Now, and this is the real challenge for you. The abundance is no more. Because with urbanization, overpopulation, and name it, whatever, the abundance in Africa or the sub-Saharan area is no more. So unfortunately, when I was in university, I was having 3 square meals a day. Actually, this is tech. Tech, they were eating 5 times a day here. 5 times. Tell everybody I said so. With ice cream. And some of you haven't eaten, I'm sure I can swear. So now that the abundance is gone, I expect that you, the youth, are now going to fight for survival and for success. But it's not going to come easy at all. Why? It's in your DNA. The abundance and its effect is still in your DNA. That's how you were raised. That's how your grandfather was raised, and your grandmother and your mother. And because in our homes, we have our traditions and our values and our cultures, which is not for business development. And even though the abundance is gone, the DNA in you is bad. If you like, check. When Ghanaians, if you want to see Africans, anywhere in the world that you go, South Africa, America, London, Nima, whatever, immediately you get there, you see Africans live here. They throw things around anyhow they like. They don't maintain anything because it's in our DNA. So it's not easy to fight the shortages and to turn your lives around. You need to do things very differently. And it looks very hopeless because we have democracy. And democracy is, as we are practicing it, majority deciding. One man, one vote, irrespective of whether the person knows what he's talking about or not. Most people are looking for 10 cities or 20 cities to just cast their vote. And it doesn't matter how much you want to change the leadership, they will choose a leader who is like them. They will never choose somebody like me, who likes systems and I'm principled and I'll give you to the best. And no. Doc, I hope they like you. because that person is not like us. So you have to really dig deep and see how you can change the culture which is keeping us undeveloped. And it's difficult. Even coups, we've tried coups, but they didn't bring development. But I don't want to leave you guys in this desperate situation that Captain says, no matter what we do, Africans were doomed. I just want to give you hope, but it has to be realistic hope. So this is what I have for you. When the African or the black man leaves his shores and goes to the Western world, on the average, generally, they excel. And sometimes they beat the Westerners in their own classrooms, in their own businesses, in their own endeavors. So the black man is not useless. So you ask yourself, how come we can do it outside and not do it here? Go to NASA, go to medical, go to anything, the black man is there. But here, the same black man should come here, you lie bad. It's because the culture that we formed out of abundance is still entrenched in our system. And we formed cultures and behaviors and traditions that is binding us and keeping us down. And unless we break out of it, we can't develop. Now, these cultures and this system we formed, one, the family system and the relatives. Start any business. And your uncle will come. Oh, if you are now, financial baby, so I could Obi kura will feel enough. Now, so you have to take the pressure on you to take family members and relatives and what have you. That is the pressure. Then you have, if you like, your chiefs who want you to take people from your hometown and all sort of things. Then you have your politicians who will be on your beck and call. So then you have, very seriously, your pastors. Well, what they are sorry about financial. Don't laugh about it. It's so effective. So the reason why, I think my time is up, the reason why blacks excel when they go out is that they get out of this conundrum or this pull effects. You are away from your family and relatives. You are away from your pastor, even though some will still go and find some other pastor there. You are away from your chief and traditional whatever in the pool. You are away from your politicians and the pull they have on you. So you get out of this system which is hanging on you and get into another world, and you're a free person. Not only that, where you've gone, nonsense won't prevail. The systems will put you in check. So what we need is systems, institutions that are working to perfection. But where do we get it? That is the challenge. So I've narrowed it for you, the youth. Look at us. We are the way we are because we live in abundance. We are not hopeless, but we need to find a way to get institutions and systems working so that anybody with any idea can pick his stuff up and start something. You watch TV, CNN, and there's this small boy, Mark Zuckerberg, in T-shirt. Normally he wears black T-shirts, and he's sitting on CNN. And he's the leader of a multi-billion company employing hundreds of thousands of people. What makes him such a special leader? That man, Justice, you are better than him. He's found a good product or service, and the systems are there to support it. and therefore he's a great leader. He himself hasn't got anything. So let me end by saying leadership on its own is not supposed to be difficult, but it's almost impossible in Africa. Thank you very much.
That was very insightful, Captain. We'll have further discussions during our panel discussion. Captain, you didn't speak about your leadership scholars program. The scholars program with your foundation. We'll talk about it during the panel. I've applied, so when you see my application, then, you know. This is all part of the networking. Frank will tell you. Okay, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the SRC president for KNUST, Mr. Frank Owusu. Frank, give us a wave. Okay, we'll move on to our next lecture, but before that, we'll take a very short performance to refreshen our memory first before we move on to our next speaker. So we'll invite Derek Music to give us a very short performance. Very short, Derek, so we can move on to our next lecture. Let's put our hands together for Derek Music. Whilst Derek is preparing, please, you saw a QR code and a link on the screens. For those of you interested in getting a certificate for this program, if you haven't registered already, you can kindly scan or go to the link and then register, and we'll send the certificates to your email when it is ready. Thank you very much.
Year 2. All right, so guys, my name is Derek Music, from the likes of MTN Hitmaker 2019 and Vodafone Icons 2018, respectively. I do full-time music. Yes, I quit doing a lot of jobs to do music full-time. And yeah, and I'm here today to serenade you with something uplifting, just for a few minutes. Yes, I'm following my passion, and it's actually paying off a lot. Just a few minutes, and I think the tech guys will just be doing something for me very soon. But before that, I guess I'll like to say a little bit of myself. I used to work at State Housing Company in Kumasi, and also worked with a few corporate companies. Then one day, I just decided, no, I have to really follow what I planned my life for, and it was music. When I started, as usual, as Captain said, see, the black mentality is very strong. The dependency. You know, my parents did not support me because they felt going to school and becoming the basic nurse, doctor, a banker and all that was the only thing that was available. Even back then, telling your parents that I'm going to do computer or I'm going to be a tech genius was a problem. Like, I didn't know what kind of. Uncle Pennes in Nibinia and a doctor in Nibinia and all that. But the first time I saw my mom and my dad have pride over me was when I came home with when I was accepted to the live shows for Vodafone Icons. And I got home late. I never told them I was going for auditions. So they didn't know where I was coming from until I came home with a contract. And my mom was shouting, "Mebane ko TV so." My dad, who told me not to do the job, was like, "Yeah, I knew you could do it." So so I say. I hope you guys can hear it. Can you hear the guitar? Can you hear it? All right. I think I'll have to play it a little stronger. So let me do this song to motivate each and every person here. I know you guys know the song very well, and it's very, very important. It goes like this. Well, you only need the light when it's found alone. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Do you know the song, right? Only know you've been high when you feel alone. Only hit the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go. If you can sing it, just sing along. You can just sing along and enjoy yourself. Staring at the bottom of the glass, same old empty feeling in your heart. My dreams come slow and it goes so fast. You see when you close your eyes, hoping one day you'll understand why everything you touch surely dies. Well, you only need the light when it's burned alone. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hit the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. Staring at the ceiling in the dark, same old empty feeling in your heart. My dreams come slow and it goes so far. What you see when you fall asleep, never to touch her, never to keep, cause you love her too much, you dive too deep. Well, you only need the light when it's been alone. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been there when you feel alone. Only hit the road when you miss the snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go. Was that good? Wow. Okay. Um, uh, Let me do a small local song. So this I really like this song, this local song, very much because it talks a lot about something. It goes like this. Ampara ekote brafo, anana no menefo, ofrititi ekote brafa, anana no monfree. You know the song, right? And I'm on phone. Someone in Munsanyum way. Munim. Hey, I must you know. Okay, it goes like this. Kocha masato zoa. No no for. Naso no sensaze water. I'm a femina beta. Or the jay bravo. Tia man for semi so muchia. Hey, munya me why. If you don't know the song, go and find it. Me to batana sawane ya jote mesako mechi vise kuntu yani ha echianerko etiti wizi echewa no sweyena debi chewa para na waswaba ekote brafo anana no menefo ofrititi ekote brafa anana no monfree oh sa I'm gonna mini ha aha I want to hear you sing it ya daddy sa woman yanu aha oh no they can't hear you they can't hear you it's very very true I wanted the ending, so obey me. Just put your mind to it. I never knew I could get to this level anyway. Standing here and playing this for you. What about this one? It goes like this. Anywhere they were, a black quencher is a one copia. We see him go. Now, so me, Baba, it's you a rebel. Minister, brother, dear, see a copy, maybe. My brother will be on. Well, bravo, na ya dada, and untimi subio. Yamin kuna dia yamia, Uncle Anoma, and Bubracosia, Baconco, Adiabeya, and Sado. I am my brother will be this one there, you know, right? My brother will be thank you very much. The name is Eric Music.
I think you can. Hello? I think you can do better for Derek. Okay, so we'll be taking our final lecture before we go on a very short break, and then we come back for our panel discussion. Now, currently in Africa, we're seeing the rise of women leaders in contemporary times. Of course, if you look through the history of Africa, we've had women as leaders. But for some reason, the white man came and introduced some kind of male supremacy. to speak on women leadership in the African context. Our next speaker has an MBA in finance and is the general manager for SME banking at Universal Merchants Bank. She has acquired vast experience on the Ghanaian banking landscape over a period of 18 years, with a specific focus on poverty alleviation and SME financing. Her forte has been in designing and implementing interventions aimed at empowering entrepreneurs, something she sees as the surest route to poverty alleviation. During her working career, she has been able to nurture and groom a sizable number of small and medium enterprises. Her leadership is defined by her passion for growth, excellence, and innovation. As a trailblazer and a role model, she is passionate about grooming and empowering young entrepreneurs, especially females. And I had an interaction with her last night. I was marveled. She currently serves on the board of Yellow Beauty Salon and Spa, as well as being a trustee of the Esther Clue Foundation. And I believe she was also the CEO of Women Banking. Let us put our hands together and a standing ovation to Miss Charlotte Lily Beidou. Auntie Charlotte.
Hello, please kindly have your seat. Thank you very much. Honestly, I'm excited to be here. Is it afternoon or still morning? Okay, so this afternoon. And actually humbled to be seated next to my mentor, Mr. Amwabin. I am grateful. I have worked in a varied institution, and I worked for UT for just 4 years, and I still follow him. And he's just one person that I am so passionate about and I die for. I remember when I left UT, there was sort of a reunion party in his residence where they called all of us who had gone out to have a homecoming treats from PK. And I spoke to him and I said that I just admire you and I love you so much. And he said, so why did you leave UT? I'm sure he doesn't even remember. He said, so if you love me this much, why did you leave UT? And I said, I left my boss. I did not leave you. So people leave their bosses and they don't leave institutions. If you are seated here, try and be a good boss so people will not leave you. Good afternoon. But he's just a fantastic person. I am here to talk on Africa leadership in the lens of a woman, right? And I'm excited to see the St. Louis people. St. Louis, are you here? Yay. I am so happy to see women. And the men here, apologies. I am a woman and will always be. I do not want to be saddled with definition of a woman and a man. I know that we are women and men. That's all. These days, when you are filling forms, you don't even know which one to choose. To choose as a gender. You will see a lot of things you don't even understand. But all I know is a woman and a man. We are doing it together. I am not here to give a speech as an independent candidate did. He's a presidential hopeful, and I am not. So thank you very much, Dr. Ankara. Thank you, Mr. Amwabin. Thank you so much for the leadership, Isaac. Thanks for bringing all of us together and to share our thoughts on leadership. they said they do not have pointers for me to use as I'm doing presentation. As a corporate person who has been in the corporate world for more than 18 years, I'm used to presentation. So, pardon me. I pray that those that work together, right? So, you know that, as Mr. Mwabin said, women has been leaders ever since. During the pre-colonial time, you see women, we can talk of the Yasantuers, we can talk of a lot of women who has led the team, even on a war. And when you even come to when there is conflict here and there, they put women together to go and talk. If there is any issue, the women go, even though there are men. And I was expecting that since they said ladies first, I will talk first. But I realized the sense behind that women we talk too much. So we should be the last. So that even when we are talking too much, we are ending, Abi. So permit me if I talk plenty. But we'll do it together. Please, can I have the slides? So as I mentioned, women has led a lot of institutions, a lot conflict resolution. They've done a lot in terms of building families, and any society that indeed want to grow should not think that women as a marginalized group, but should really think about women as a formidable force. Women more or whole. Yes. Because after all, we are even more than the men. Population itself, we are more than you. Unfortunately, the men has taken over. But don't worry, we are coming from a very low place. When you look at Forbes, 500 CEOs in the world, the 500 most prestigious or the big companies, in 1995, 500 of them, the top ones, there was no woman. 1995. But when we go to 2022, out of the 500, we now have 41 of them. So it means that we are going somewhere. We have 41 of them representing 8.2%. So women are moving on. When you look at even our political landscape in Ghana, we didn't used to have women. Now, I don't know, but they were able to give NPP 20 women, NDC 20 women, giving us 40 women out of 275. But that is still below 15%. It's about 14 point something. And I believe that within the next 5, 10 years, we should be able to become 60% or so. Since we've been talking women all this while. Normally when you sit in a place like this with the men, there is a he for a she, meaning the men, they like the she talking. But when it comes to implementation, it becomes very difficult. I pray that we'll get to a point where people respect that without women, you cannot move on. Without women leadership, you will not get the profitability that you are looking for. We'll get to a point where people will understand that women offer something on the table. There's a popular saying that says that women can do it and do it better. Abi, no offense to the men. After all, I learned from men. And we actually learn from men, and we learn fast and faster. But there are a lot of things that bothering women, bothering young women, bothering women, and they feel that the top is difficult to scale to the top. We all started from down, and then we grew with a very good and positive mindset. When I was a student, when I was going to the university, and I'm a business student, and there were courses. At that time, University of Cape Coast had a course called BSEC. So, it's Bachelor of business secretariatship or so. And as a younger person, you don't even understand what it is. We sometimes choose the course anyhow. And I remember some of my friends said, let's choose that course. And I said, since they have secretary inside, me, I want to be the boss. So why should I choose a course that is secretary to somebody? I don't want that. I didn't even know that that course is a beginning of HR or beginning of office management, because they teach you how to type, typewriting, writing shorthand and all that. So in my mind, I thought it's just, you will just be secretary to somebody. Meanwhile, I want to be boss. So right from now, if you are seated there as a secondary school person, student, you should have in your mind that you want to be the boss. And you work towards it. You cannot just say you want to be boss when you don't work towards it. You should put in more effort to get there, to get to the promised land. And trust me, you will get there. The road is a bit bumpy. You have some roller coaster journeys along the line. But remember, you will get there. If I go to the Bible little, let me get there. God never told those that he promises in the Bible, for example, is it Joseph, that you pass through all these things. He only said that you will be great. He gives you the end result. He doesn't give you the journey. But obviously, you can't get to Accra if you don't either fly, walk, sit in a car from here to Accra. So if I promised you that I will take you to Accra, how do you get there? You need to figure out how you get to Accra. Some of us will walk. Some of us will crawl. Some of us, but trust me, the journey, some of us will be very long, but you will get there. There are people that we started school together. They had to do reset, but they got there. You can write 3 or 4, but you will get there. I have a cousin who had to put about 4 results together before he was able to come to first year. But he got here. You don't know, but he got here. We are all in the classroom. And trust me, it could be some of you sitting here, you had to put 2, 3 before you got the admission. But the final result is you are getting the BSc. You are getting the MPhil. You are getting everything. In the work field, they won't say how many years did you take in attaining this height. They will only ask you, do you have a degree? Nobody cares on how many years it took you to get a degree. It's, do you have a degree? I would also want to touch on the fact that if you're a woman, normally women, and because I am a woman, I have lived it. And because I used to also manage women's world banking, I understand. So this woman thing, I am very passionate about, and I understand. I remember there was a big government institution that needed somebody. And I know of one professor friend of mine who is a woman, a statistician. And I called and I said, Professor, after reading the job description, honestly, it is for you. Go and apply. Even the professor told me, Charlotte, but they said you should work for some 15 or 20 years. I haven't. So that is a woman for you. A man will not think about the fact that the job description says I should have 20 years experience or 10 years experience. The fact that they see the thing, they are passionate, go for it. But the women, they want to get 110% of whatever is stated before they will apply. Before they will apply. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. There are a lot of things that work against women. First of all, unconscious biases and discrimination. And I'm sure all of us understand that. The women understand, the men understand. There are certain things when you are doing as a woman, they will say, oh no, you can't do it as a woman. No, you're bad, no, yes, sir. How? They look at you some way. When a woman is assertive aggressive. They say when you study, you are not respectful. It comes from our culture and upbringing, where when they give birth to you, you have a man and a woman or a boy and a girl in your house. You train the boy to be bold, go-getter, head of the family. And we train the women to be very polite, ladylike, like the St. Louis people. They train them to be lady. This is not for you. That is for you. You have to cross all teeth and dot all I's as a lady. And those things are unconscious biases and discrimination against women. And it is high time in 21st century we break that stereotyping. And if you're a woman here and you want to move on, you need to break it yourself. You need to challenge the status quo. You don't have to accept some of the things that they are telling you. No. You have to be a go-getter. And even if you do not have the 110% of whatever they are asking you, and you have 60, just try. When I was moving away from UT, I was a credit manager. And I remember when UT was trying to open a branch in Nigeria, they started talking about it here and there. And I went there and I said, I want to go to Nigeria. They were all shocked. I remember PK calling me saying, do you really want to go to Nigeria? I said, yes. So they didn't force me. Because like I mentioned to you, I want to be a leader. And wherever I have to pass to get to that leadership position, I must prove a point that I can do. And trust me, if you're a woman seated here, if there is anything that is there, a task, everybody in this room believes that a man can do. And they believe that you, a woman, you can't do. So you have to do about 2-3 times for them to believe that you also have flesh and blood. Unfortunately, that is the society we find ourselves. Trust me, you sit in a plane and they come and say, hello, your captain is Charlotte Lily Beidou. I'll be flying you to Accra today. Immediately you want to fasten your seatbelt. Because the person who spoke was a woman. So you don't even believe that the person will take you there. And it is inbuilt from beginning. And that is how we behave. But trust me, women are even more careful. How many of the accidents on the road being caused by women? They are more careful. My own mother, who knew I've been driving all this while, comes to Accra, and I say, I want to drive you to Takrady. She immediately says, where is your driver? Nanajo, I want the driver. So she's just not comfortable. The fact that I'm a woman, if you want to drive all this while. No, but it's too far. When people ask you, so do you drive to Accra? Do you drive to Kumasi? And I say, yes. How? It's too far. It's a man's job. There is not like a man's job. I want to find out from the audience seated here whether when we are writing exams, they give a pink sheet to a woman and a blue sheet to the men. We all write the same black and white. So how come after school, or if there is anything, you people think that the woman can't do, a man can do? So please, we don't want to be discriminated upon. Leave us alone. If there is anything we can also do, just support us and believe in us that we can do. We just need a he for a she. Meaning a one man believing in one woman. And we will get there. They feel we are so vulnerable. No. But remember, upon all the big pastors, the big presidents, the big heads, they are being managed by the women in the room. They worship them like something. You know, they. So there are a lot of things we go through as women. Number 2, as I mentioned, the women want to have more education. So there's a statistics that shows that even in the US, the women have more MBAs than the men. But the men are still the leaders. So it means that it is not your MBA, your PhD, your professorship that will make you a leader. No. It is your ability to challenge it and believe that everything is possible and that we've all been given the chance to prove our worth. And if you're a woman, don't sit in your comfort zone. Tell yourself that I can do. Challenge it very well and bring a better solution. Also, I realized that women have issues in terms of sponsors and mentors. Even in the work area, you get the men having a lot of mentors. The fact is, the big women, the bigger one than me, the most intelligent and those who have made it there, do not have the time to mentor you because the family pressures are plenty behind. Even when we work in a bank with your husband, there are some people who have husbands in the same bank. They get home, and the guy will just cross the leg, watch TV, and be looking at you to go and do the stuff. Your child will be crying, your maid is doing something, you have to prepare dinner, you have to do this, you have to do that. And it's a reality. It's a reality. I pray that one day the men will stop this African mentality reality that we are living in and help the women. There is nothing like a man's job, a woman's job. Please. And I think it also starts from even the home when we are raising the kids. We feel that you're a man, so this is what you are supposed to do. You're a woman, these are the things you are supposed to do. The men normally wash the bowls, and the women in the house, when your parents are raising you up. And the women are doing the cooking. So the men do not know how to even cook rice. And if you are here and you are growing, I pray that you change all those things. And then we train the men properly and we train the women properly. So since we don't have mentors, we don't have sponsors, it's very difficult. It is very, very difficult. Because if you learn from those who have made a lot of mistakes, you also will not make the mistakes that they made. There is no point to reinvent any wheel. You have to try and learn from your elders so that you will not fall into it. If an elder tells you this is a gutter, it is better. And sometimes let us listen as young adults growing up. Listen to your parent. Listen and listen and listen. It's very difficult training a teenage young adult daughters. But you have to listen. If your mother says this, listen. Recently, when there was a Mother's Day, they put together a lot of women and they asked them to write to their younger self. It was online. They asked them to write to their younger self. And most of them said, listen to your mother. Now they've grown and they realize that they should have listened and listened well. So please, we mean good. We don't mean any bad. We want you to prosper and be in good health as your soul also prospers. So there are a lot of things that work against women. And I pray that as all of us seated here, we'll be able to support the women and all the things that is working against them will be removed. There are expectations that we expect a woman leader to also have. We expect you to have a change of mind. We expect you, you see, the industry is such that right now we are in the 21st century and you have to be a tech savvy if you want to be a very good leader. You have to be. You should be able to understand analytics, statistics, backed by data, be building your own models. Your phone is not just for social media. Unfortunately, we have used our phones for social media. And we are not doing justice to all the features in the phone, apart from liking and what's the other word? following and all that. No. There are a lot of things you can learn from that your iPhone 14 that you have cried and gotten. That's your iPhone 12, 10, whatever it is. Or a MacBook that you are holding. Are you holding like a picture for everybody to know that you have arrived with a MacBook? No. You need to be a tech savvy if you want to be a leader in the 21st century. You need to be resilient. You need to be resilient. You need to have a we mentality. That is not just where I am, not just this my unit, not just this my function, but you live beyond whatever you have to another thing. If you are in a group, don't say I am just a treasurer of this group. Do other things. Become a utility player. Then they will see the leadership qualities in you and they will give it to you. But if you are subtle, you are okay with your comfort zone, as it's written in the Bible, that mind your own business. Somewhere in 1 Thessalonians 5:11 or so, it says, live calmly and mind your own business. It's biblical. But you mind your own business in certain things, not in other things. Like, don't poke your nose in people's issues so that they will beat you or slap you. Just mind your business by doing other positive stuff that will help you. If you want to be a leader, I said, number one, you have to be a tech savvy. You should be resilient. You should have a we mentality. And you should be able to challenge the status quo. It was in Mr. Mwabin's slides. Challenge the status quo. Oh, this is the way we do it. I'm sorry. We have done it this way and it never worked. Or we are not getting the desired result. So we have to do it differently. And say that I can do it this way and it will work. And do that. Apart from this, we also expect you to do certain things as a woman. In Africa, for instance, even if you're a career woman, there are a lot of support systems there that can help you. If you are not getting the support, then it means that there's something. Because you have a neighbor, you have a church friend, you have this, you have that. If you want to leave your kids, you can get somebody to support you. So build your network in such a way that other people will support you very well. I'll give you a story where I was supposed to attend my church elder's father's funeral that same Saturday. I was supposed to attend my son's, was it a speech and prize giving day where he was going to be given a prize? I was supposed to attend a wedding of my staff. The two of them were all working in the same institution. And I'm supposed to go 4 things on that same Saturday. We suffer as leaders. And everybody expects you to be there. So sometimes you put about 3 dresses in your car. You get to some hotel and you change. And you move on. You show up. You get here and then you change. What I did, normally our families suffer. We want to please everybody. And our families suffer. I dropped my son at the school. And took off to my other 3 functions. The speech and prize giving day, whatever, ended around 1:30. And I picked my son around 7 p.m. In fact, they were calling me from the school. And I told the gate man, take care of him. When I picked him, I had to just pamper him small and drove him through KFC and all the problems was solved. So we have issues. We do. But you need to manage yourself. So we have something we call work-life balance. You need to have a very supportive husband or a partner that will understand that you want to move on in life. You want to be a leader in life. And don't say that I am a woman, so I can't do this, I can't do that. We need the guys to support the women. We need you. Because if we don't have your support, the women cannot scale up. You see a lot of people in the bank that they don't want to move on. They are okay with the branch manager. When they get there, that's fine. That's fine now. They are okay. Please, you should not be okay with mediocrity. You should not be okay with the medium level. You should aim high and be the CEO, be the head of department, be the general manager, and be the best version of yourself. What I can say is also that read, use your phone, read a lot from people who have made it, from CEO women who have made it. Learn from all the things they are saying. It will definitely help you. There are lots of jobs even online. Access to information is there. There is nothing that you need that is not written. It is there. You can have access to information. As a woman, you need to have your own money. And how do you have your own money? Even if you are working, you need to have some side hustle. Little thing that will propel you. Little thing that will support your stress. Little thing that will add on so that you don't talk plenty. Most people talk about their salaries, it's not good, it's not that, because they are not managing their lives very well and they are also not having the side hustle. You can manage your time so well that weekends, you can use it to do other things. You can manage your time so well that even as a student, you'll be selling something small. You can ask your mom, your dad to support you with even 50 Ghana cedis. And that one, you can go to the market and even be selling small handkerchief in your bag. You don't have to carry it anywhere. You can be selling chains, small ones. That is the 5 cedis and the 10 cedis. These days, people use their hands to do a lot of Ghanaian things that are not too expensive. You can do that. And above all, you can even market somebody's product. You do not have any capital. The only capital you have is your data and your phone. I have a lot of people who have become brokers of dressmakers. Now that is a great source of income for people. They will tell you their aunties are sewing, their uncles are sewing. So they'll come and take your measurement. All they've done is they know how to take measurement perfectly. And they will go and sew it and bring it to you. Nice. If they are charging, say, 200 Ghana, they will tell you 250 or 300. They have a commission. You do not have any capital. I have a cousin who came through this university. By the time she graduated, she had $35,000 in her account. She started doing business. So you can do it. You don't have to put your books aside. You can still have the book. And that little time that you've been using to just chat men and women and all those people, you can use it to sell a product that will give you income. I expect the government also, there are a lot of things that we expect them to equally do to support women. We expect them to be deliberate about investing financially in the girl child. Investing financially in women, giving women quota, and helping them to move forward. I am glad to say that there are a lot of NGOs that are doing so well, even giving women pad, giving them support, giving them certain things, but that's not enough. We want a situation whereby the laws of the land will be so punitive to the extent that if you flout any of the gender things, they should be able to handle you properly. Right now, if I go to a police station and I say that my husband has raped me, they all laugh. They won't just mind me. Why should your husband rape you in Africa? It doesn't happen. Even if you're a young person who is not married, if you go and you say somebody has raped you, they look at you some way. And some of the time, it becomes a foolish case. We want a situation whereby there will be a deliberate framework that will support gender-based biases, gender-based issues, gender-based violence. And we also want security. Because anything that happens in the country, those that suffer most are the women and children. And we expect that they will protect us enough that there will be no issues. Because when the men are going, like Ms. Amwabin said, he went to a lot of places. I'm not sure the woman was following him. So when the men are going, we are here. So we want to be protected more so that we can scale up. And trust me, if you're a woman seated here, I just want you to understand that everything is possible. But remember to also be prayerful to whichever God you believe in. Just be prayerful and have a positive mindset. If you don't change your mind, there should be a paradigm shift in the way you think. If you have a positivity in your mind, everything is possible. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Let's put our hands together again for Mrs. Bader. Thank you very much, Auntie Charlotte. Okay, so our next schedule for the program is our panel discussion. But before we do that, I'd like for us to take a very short break, a 5 minutes break for you to stretch, network, reach out to somebody. Those of you in SHS, you want to come to the university. I don't know if you've started choosing your programs and all of those things. These are the best people you can ask. They will tell you what is on the ground. The university, because they want you to come, they will tell you to apply for whatever it is. But these are the people you can consult. So reach out to somebody who is even doing a program you might be interested in. And so for the next 5-10 minutes, let's try and mingle whilst my panelists and I prepare for our panel discussion. And then we'll be back. If we could get a timer on the screens so that by, say, 7 minutes' time, we should be done with our networking, and then we'll be seated for the next session of our program. So stretching. Please, nobody should leave the building, please. Unless you want to use the washroom, don't leave the building. Ashes, please. Ensure nobody leaves. Just stretching, reaching out to someone. I thought people would be approaching our guests by now, but no, everybody is afraid. Shame on you. I'm going to do my networking. Zoom something whilst our guests have not finished with their presentation. So let's finish that. And then we'll reach out. Yes. The agreement was for him to be here in person. See, me, Anoche. Okay, let's get ready to be seated for the next session, please. For all those who are outside, if you could kindly come in. Ushers, if you could kindly guide everyone back to their seats. We'll continue with the networking and reaching out when the event ends, but kindly take your seats, please. And ushers, if you could kindly guide my panelists to the stage, I'll be very grateful. David. David. And then get me and Asha to guide them to the stage. Pasha my pocket. Well, press for time. This has a program here at 2 o'clock. Oh, I'm not sure. No. How do I sign it off?
It has a volume button. Somebody did Zoom a talk. They Zoom.
See.
We're supposed
Get
to
me.
people they talk with
Please help me to get to them seated. Thank you very much. Splash. There's no need for me to introduce them. Auntie Charlotte, if yeah, I'd like to welcome you back from. Sorry for the bad feedback. I'd like to welcome you back from the very short break that we had. But this is the point where we interact with our panelists. And I have some questions to ask them, but I'll limit myself Okay. I'll try and limit myself and then give everyone the opportunity to ask their questions. So whilst we're having our discussion, you should listen. But if you have any question, you should prepare it now. Because immediately I'm done asking my questions, I'll open it up for the floor for us to ask our questions. Captain, thank you very much. Auntie Charlotte, Dr. Ankra. Okay, I'd like to start with Captain. Captain, you have been successful in the entrepreneurial field. And so that's the perspective I'd like to take with you. One major problem in the African context when it comes to leadership, when it comes to business leadership, is funding, first of all, and innovation. In your presentation, you did mention how you came up with the idea and how UT Holdings came up. The fact that you looked at some certain problems in various industries and you decided to fill those gaps. Now, for young adults like ourselves who are aspiring entrepreneurs, personally, even though I like to be in academia, I don't necessarily want somebody to be my boss. I would like to be my own boss. What is your advice for young entrepreneurs who would like to venture into the space of entrepreneurship? What are the key things that individuals should look out for in setting out in a journey like that?
Okay, thank you very much, and welcome again. I think I mentioned the fact that you have to acquire knowledge, and in acquiring knowledge, you can find gaps in the system. So let's take it as you identify something that you think you want to change. And that's what business is about. It's about changing the status quo. So whatever it is that you have, first and foremost, sit down and try and put it down. Put it down in writing. Don't forget about your vision, as people say. What is your mission? What have you set out to do? Put it clearly. I want to sell special beef burgers. That is your mission. And then describe how you achieve it. That's the first thing. But put it down on paper. And then put down the processes and, of course, a bit of cash projections. I think in making the beef burger or something, I need to buy bread at this cost. The beef itself is so much, and I will sell at this price, so I expect to make a profit of so much. So you have a business plan. It doesn't have to be complicated, that you are getting binders and all those things and nice pictures. You can even be in an exercise book, but write it out clearly so you yourself know exactly what you're about. So when you are clear and convinced that yes, you can make profit, therefore it's sustainable, then of course you have the problem of how do you fund it?
Funded.
Now funding it, at this stage, as students, you should start saving. The first funding comes from you. I know students who pay tithes but can't save anything for themselves. If you pay tithe to the pastor, pay tithe to yourself. So at least you have some money. Not a lot, but depends. So you have a bit of money. Apart from your own savings, and you need it because to take transport, to raise the company, to do things, you need a bit of money. The other forms of financing that you can have immediately is some kind of partnership, maybe your mate. But the danger there is that if you are bringing somebody to a company, from the very onset, you should be very clear what everybody is getting. 10% for whatever, 50% for whatever, but you as a visionary, as much as possible, keep more than 50%. Because otherwise, some fight will break out at some point in time, and then the whole company can die just because you didn't put the structure right. So put the structure right if you're going to invite somebody in. So you can get money through partnership. The other source of immediate funding is family and friends. The requirement here is that you should be known as an honest, hard-working person. So right now, make sure you create a good name for yourself, as in a person of integrity and a person who is honest and hardworking. Because when you go to your family and friends, they know you. If you come to me and say, Mr. Mwabe, I have this project and I need money, I don't know you, I won't mind you. But you go to a family member or a friend who knows you and says, oh, as for Kufia Mwabende, Charlie, you can bank on him. The guy, he's hardworking, he's honest, and I think he should be supported. That is the criteria they're going to use to judge you. The warning here is that if it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, whatever, discuss that project you have in front of you fully and talk to them about the profit you expect to make. And promise them a return on whatever monies you want from them. Don't say, I went to my uncle didn't give me anything, he's got plenty of money, he is mean. But he got plenty of money because he knows the value of money. And that money has got an opportunity cost. So you can buy treasury bill with it, but you want him to give it to you for your business. And you don't want to pay him anything because he's your uncle. Me, if you are my nephew and you come, I won't give it to you. So discuss return on whatever investment that you want with that your relative or that your friend. Another thing you should notice, Don't go to somebody saying, I need 100,000 for my business. He or she may want to help, but 100,000 is a lot of money. So you may want to think about going to maybe 5 or 10 more people to share the idea. So it's not 100,000 because I might want to part with 10,000 because I trust you, but 100,000, it's a bit too much. It may collapse my own finances. So go to friends and family, go with a plan, and don't ask for too much money. The other advantage of not asking for too much money is that they may not even ask you for shares because they know they are not giving a lot of money. So I think the initial funding, certainly don't go to a bank to go and waste your time. That I have a plan on SI book and the banks will support me. Banks don't like that. It's only UT Bank that used to do a few of those things, but banks won't mind you. You may go to some microcredit and might have to establish a relationship with them for some time before they'll give you the money. As for angel investors, I don't know, maybe you pray hard and maybe you meet someone, but I don't believe in it because it's too easy. I think I'll keep it at that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Captain. I have a quick follow-up before I go to our other panelists. Yesterday in a discussion with Auntie Charlotte, one thing that came up with our discussion was that how do you prevent the friends or family, that person you'd want to invest, from stealing your idea? You know, there's a tendency of, oh, this is what I want to do. I'm coming to you for money. Then the next minute, you see that person is doing the same thing you wanted to do.
It's a very good point, but I think people get scared unnecessarily. You have identified something that you are passionate about. Discuss it. They can go and try and do it. But if they don't have the same feeling, they don't have the same call for it, they will fail. In any case, even when you start are successful, anybody can compete. You can't rule out competition. So I know a lot of people who have big business plans and projects in their briefcases and they are guiding it, and for 10 years they are still guiding it. Share it and discuss it. If they want to go and try, they can go and try. Because you have seen something, you have had a call, and you think you know what you're about. Taking somebody's idea won't help them. And in any case, it shouldn't worry you at all. Come out openly. When I started Unique Trust, a relative of mine came and said he wanted to start one. I gave him the feasibility study I took to Bank of Ghana. And I said, this is what I sent to Bank of Ghana. Go and follow it and write yours and go and set yours up. It never happened. That should not be a worry at all.
Thank you very much, Captain. Let's put our hands together for Captain. Auntie Charlotte. Okay. I asked you this question yesterday, and I'll ask you again for the benefit of our audience. For our young ladies who are here, who are interested in becoming career women, the African context where we are. If supposedly you want to become, say, a professor, you're a lady, you want to become a professor by, say, 35, 40, with that kind of ambition, the kind of commitments you need. And I remember yesterday you said something that for a woman, what a man will do, a woman will have to put over 300% effort to get to where the man is. How do we, I know there's the issue of stereotyping and all that, but how do we control the circumstances around us in such a way that we can be ambitious women, but we are not regarded as arrogant? We are not seen as threats. We are not considered for a man who would be interested in you because you're ambitious and you're interested in a career. If I marry her, she will abandon my kids. How do we, this is the goal, this is where I want to get. But then all those circumstances that come in, how do you control that? Because I believe it is control over those circumstances that gets you to the top. Yes, Auntie Charlotte.
Okay, so thank you.
Is he on? Splash, if you could come and help me with the microphone, please. Kwame, if you would kindly come and help me with the microphone, I'll be grateful.
This book about being a savvy.
Don't call me for
There's a turner here. Okay. Is he on? Okay. We could switch microphones. You give her this and then give me one of the microphones.
Apologies. Hello. Great. So, you want to be a very great leader. You want to, in terms of your career, you want to move to the next level. Honestly, you can't get there if you are not, you're supposed to sacrifice. You sacrifice sweat, time, blood. I'm not saying go and kill anybody. But I mean, we all have 24 hours, right? You need to prioritize every little thing that you have to do. People, obviously, you can't please everyone. Those who want to call you arrogant, let them be. You cannot continue to prove a point to anybody. Be happy and know that I want to please myself first. As for going to the top, I mentioned sacrifice, sweat, time. All of us have 24 hours. Varied reasons. We can decide to use our time, 2 hours in the morning for something, 3 hours in the evening for something, 1 hour in the evening for another. As a woman, you need to prioritize your time because you do not have the time anyway. I always say that I don't want to say I don't have the time. You create the time. 24 hours, create it, and trust me, you will have the time. You can have the time to do anything that you set your mind to do. As a career woman, obviously, I mentioned that those that normally suffer most is our family, our husbands, our children. And you get people saying that those that even climb to the top, we have issues with husbands. It's either they leave us or we leave them. Whichever one is leaving. Some people don't understand where we want to go. And you have a partner that doesn't understand where you want to go, you leave him behind and you go. And I believe that we don't just get up to get married. We court, we become friends. And if you know this person doesn't understand where you want to go, why do you want the person to follow you anyway? Or why do you want to follow the person? You want to go to Accra. The person says, I want to go to Kintampo. You still say that I am sure he will change his mind and go to Accra with me. The parent could not change the person's mind. You will change the mind. Above 20 years. You can't change. You can't change anybody. You yourself, you can't change. So why do you expect to change someone? Someone's daughter, someone's son? It's not possible. So during those times, you have to look at the fact that whether the person have the same mind as me. Forget about your heart. Forget about what you feel as a woman. You need someone who will hold you like an egg, that when it breaks, you do not have anything any longer. And go with somebody who understands you and understand where you want to go and is willing to go with you. Or that person is even on that same journey. So that the person won't stop you. We have a lot of marriages that have issues because we are not going on the same journey. And we did not realize from the beginning. We felt that, oh, he will follow me. I think with little he will change his mind. But like I mentioned, you can't change anybody. So if you know from day one that the person is not tilting towards your direction, please, you are very young. I always say, below 30, why the hurry? Why would you cry? Why would you do things? Your partner will surely come. The man who will take you to the promised land will come, and you will get there. If you are doing something, you have to be assertive as a woman. You have to be aggressive because the kingdom of God suffered violence. And we take it by force. This is biblical. So please, you cannot seem to do things anyhow and expect that you will win. I would also want to let you understand that you need to even be impressive as a woman. Sometimes you sit in an interview, the woman come, all they can offer is smile and laugh. You won't get that job to even become the arrogant and assertive we are talking about. You have to prepare and create the first impression very well as somebody who is competing with the men, and you get the role. When you get the role, you learn a lot around the role because leadership is loneliness. I am sure all of them will tell you. There are a lot of things we go through we cannot discuss with anybody. We only discuss it with our pillows. There are some sensitive stuff you can't even discuss with your spouse. Who do you discuss with? Your pillow. So it's very lonely up there. And you can also even talk anyhow. All you need to do, embrace it, learn hard on your own. And these days, there's a lot of things online. LinkedIn has a lot of training. And trust me, you can be very smart on LinkedIn training here and there, where you will sign on for the 30 minutes free and learn whatever you can learn and delete and move on. You don't have money to purchase. They will give you free trial for 30 days. Those free trial, learn as much as you can learn. Go to another app, free trial. Learn whatever. Go to another app, free trial. You are free. By the time you realize you have all the knowledge bank. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Osanka. Hello. Cool, very good. Osanka, the kind of political system we have in Ghana, in my opinion, is very flawed. Now, there are a number of us here who are interested in becoming political leaders. But if you have, with what our captain said, integrity, you have a vision as a leader, you think, oh, this is how the thing should be done. But when you get to the top, you're alone. You see that you are the one who looks at it from that perspective. I think the road should be constructed, the road can be constructed with $10,000. But you're not there alone. The people you are with will say, no. We don't do it like that here. In the budget, we write $100,000. And then we'll use the 10,000 to do, and then the rest, because they are not paying as well, we'll use it to help ourselves out. How do you maintain integrity? How do you influence those around you? Because this is where the problem is. You can try to stand out, but then because the decision might not necessarily be yours alone, the people you are with, how do you change or fine-tune them in such a way that they see your perspective? They might want to go ahead and do some kind of skirmishes, but it won't go to the volume of increasing whatever it is they have to do in ninefolds. How do we maintain integrity and let us affect those around us?
I think first of all,
Kwame, is Kwame not here? Your lights are on. I don't think they can. Let me give you my microphone. I have another one. Let me get that quickly. Yes.
thank you very much.
Whilst they are preparing doctor's microphone, if you have any questions, I'll be taking just 5. Just prepare them, and then we'll move from there.
I can hold the mic.
Doc, we can go on with the microphone. And then, yes.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, one of the key attributes of leadership
is the ability to source the potential candidate who is qualified for a role out of any nepotism or biasness. If you can't be in that role, you are not a leader. If you cannot influence the people around you to believe in you and walk by your principles and order, you are not a leader. So let's not deviate from what we've seen, but look at it from a different perspective, where we are looking at who is a model leader. Once we look at that point, then we can pinpoint certain areas where people who have stood for integrity has managed to carry a team along and develop and change destinies of nations. If you look at Rwanda, for instance, Paul Kagame has shown by having the right attributes, first of all, picking the right people. I mean, there are people working for Rwanda government now who are not from there, who are British, Americans, Ghanaians, but he picked talent, strong talent, people who are capable, who have the capacity and the ability to do the work. So once you have such people in place, and you as a leader has a vision, you should be able to execute and influence these people to what you want them to do. This is what is missing in the certains that we have seen, where people get compromised. They get conformed to the environment because whether they themselves don't know much better, whether it's because of the political systems that we have in place. So there has to be a holistic view of what we have. Correct it. Make sure the structures work, backed by law and order, and execute your role as a leader. And in so doing, you will change destinies of nations as is proven.
Now, my final question is to all three of you. What we're doing today is reorienting the youth so that when, of course, we're leaders now, but when we get to the top, at least we can match up with the other parts of the world, the Western world. Because like you said, like Captain has said, like Auntie Lily has said, Africa is rich in resource. The only problem is the human resource. Captain, first of all, with you, what final advice would you give to our leaders who are coming up?
Well, thank you once again. I think the reason why I devote time and I'm passionate about talking to young people like you is that let's realize we have a huge problem. The trend doesn't look good at all. The trend of when we had maybe 5 million people and then we started growing to about 30 million, and we all have to depend on the infrastructures that have even been abused. And therefore, looking at where Africa or Ghana is going, be clear that the task of getting a leader or leadership that will change the narrative is not going to be easy. That's the first point. The second point is that you don't have to give up, and all we can do is to empower you and let you know the truth. That's why I'm not going to lie to you by saying that when you grow up, things are going to change. We're looking at the next generation. We were a new generation at some point in time, and we failed. And you will fail because we have brought you up and we have indoctrinated you, and you come with the same ideas and even worse. When I was on campus, SRC leadership, there was no bribe. You go from room to room, you go there, they have the food, you eat some, and then go talking to them. Now I hear they even pay money and do all sorts of things. So it's getting worse. But it's not a hopeless situation. We must find the answer. The answer is that we need to do away with the current behaviors, cultures, and the systems that are affecting us. And I did talk about it. The dependence on family relations, the pastors, the politicians, Every aspect of our lives is now politicized. When I was going to the army, I only wrote. And then they replied, P.O. Box 32, Kukrantumi. And I picked the letter and I went to the army. Common entrance the same, O level the same. Now, even immigration and customs, protocol list. So the problem is getting worse. We need to look at how we can let institutions and systems work again. And it is very un-African because that is where, or that is how we are. We always create chaos and exploit it to the detriment of our people. So you have a huge challenge, and we pray for you that you understand what the true issue is and come out with new ways, digitization, AI, or whatever. Don't think small. You need to think deep to change the course. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Captain. Auntie Lillian.
Okay, so my last words with you will be resilient, as I spoke about. Be a goal-getter. Be curious. Have a growth mindset. Remember that everything is possible. The world or the sky should even be too small for you. You can get to wherever level you want to get to, whether you're a man and a woman. And have a paradigm shift, have a mindset that will propel you to the next level. Believe in yourself. We are also moving on to emotional intelligence, where we expect that you yourself, emotionally, how do you feel? You should be empathy. You should exhibit empathy in everything that you do. Respect everyone. And trust me, everything about you will be perfect. Thank you.
Go.
I would end by saying and giving this message, which if you get a chance, you should write it, every one of you. Whenever your heart that you have decides to get to a destination, no matter how far that destination is, no matter how complicated that is, no matter how impossible it looks when you have that desire, the creative mind that God has given you would always help to design a way to reach that destination. Have a vision, have a goal, have a desire to be something in life, and see how you manage to find your way to get there. These things may not look possible looking at what you feel as you are now. But as you propose to get to that place, as you desire, as you aspire to achieve this aim and objective that you set for yourselves, and setting your goals and resetting your goals, you are definitely going to get to that destination. Dream big. Nothing is impossible. There's no sky at all. Work towards your objectives, and you will surely achieve it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so at this point, yes, I'm going to take a few questions. First of all, I'm going to give the senior high schools one student each from each school that came here. So St. Louis, I'll take one student. I see a lady's hand. Hey, I see two. Interesting. Auntie Lily says there are more, so I should take more. Okay, so the lady at the back. Oh, if you could come up here. It would be better if you line up here and then you ask your question. It makes it easier. So if you could take ushers, kindly guide them. We'll take the, yes, so the lady there, I saw another hand up here. Yes, I'll take that. TMS, yes, one question from the lady there. Kumasi Academy. Any question? Yes, come, yes. That lady, yes? Or is it a gentleman? Oh, okay, yes. Join them here. Kumasi Academy, any question? Okay, now for my university students, I saw your hand up. Yes, from you, sir. The gentleman in the cup. Justice, I'll take your question. Hey.
Hello.
BAJ. Oh, now unzu ashanzu baby za question. Upon anu baby za asem. Okay, let me finish with this. If I have enough time, I'll come to you guys. Yes.
Please, good day to you and then to everybody here. Please, when Sir was speaking, he was saying that we should be visionary and then we should see how we will manage to get
Oh,
there.
Yante, pray. We didn't hear anything. Speak up.
When Sir in quotes was speaking, he was saying that we should be visionary and then we should see how we are going to get there. I want to ask that, say I want to be an architect. I want to pursue architecture and be an architect in future. But then looking at how things are going in the economy, that's in Ghana, people are not really into the building of houses. More of them are like buying houses now. My father is an architect, and then I once asked him, I discussed to him about my plan into being an architect. He told me architecture then is not like architecture now. And then I understand. So I asked my friend about real estate planning. And then she said that with the real estate planning, I would have to use my own money to build the house and then I will sell to people. Here's the case where I want to build a house for them and then like I draw the plan, build the house and take the money. But then people are not really into that now. So what am I going to do? I am passionate about building. I want to build. So do I have to leave what I am passionate about and then think of other, maybe something else? Oh, yes.
Thank you very much. Please, brevity is very, very important. Let's not drag our questions too much. If you are talking too much, I'll cut you off. Okay, yes. Yes, the next lady. We're taking all the questions and then
my
we'll
question is to Dr. Sam.
Oh, it would be nice if you could have told us your name so that next time when I see you. Yes, Auntie, what is your name?
Yes, I'm Millicent Jackson Kwanzaa.
Auntie Millicent, yes.
I am Mary Ann Azaniere Abagali. And Dr. Sam Ankara spoke about another country where the president had to take people from different countries to serve in various fields as ministers. But then considering Ghana, a country like Ghana, as he also said, it will be difficult for us to move forward, considering our mindset and everything. If we are to bring someone from outside to rule us, it will be difficult. Even looking at the local level, even in our schools and sometimes other institutions, let's say someone from the south goes to the north to rule, it will be difficult for them to accept the person, and someone from the north coming to the south, the same thing. So looking at the situation where people would find it difficult to accept people from outside who are equally qualified, in fact, much more qualified to stand in such positions, how are we to move forward, knowing that our people will see it as someone from outside who doesn't even understand situations in the country is coming to lead us?
Thank you very much. Yes. When you're done with your...
Because we can't write.
You didn't get the question?
I got it.
Okay.
I got
okay.
it.
Would you want to answer? Okay, sure.
No,
Then let's, ladies, you can sit down. Thank you very much. Let's
Okay.
take the answers from our speakers and then...
Okay. So, what you need is the best of the first in every endeavor. And it's always very important as any leader to try and pick skills. The fact that the person is your countryman or your tribe's person, if they are not qualified for the role, you shouldn't put them there because you want to. Because at the end of the day, leadership is not about the speeches or the presentations. It's about results. So you need the best of the best. And if it means going to obtain that skill from wherever it is to come and support your vision to achieve it, is good. But you need to have a plan attached to it. And let me give you a story of what happened to Norway after the Second World War. Norway, after the Second World War, was a very poor country. They were fishermen and farmers. They had nothing until they found oil. And when they found the oil, they told the British and the Americans, we know you are the experienced guys in this field. We Norwegians, we are fishermen, we are farmers. But we're not going to allocate our oil blocks to you to take royalties as the Africans are doing. We want you to come, train and develop our people, and when we start producing the oil, we will pay you for the cost of bringing us the skill and technology. Years down the line, Norway is not just exporting oil, they're exporting the technology. Everywhere in the world where you go on an oil field, if you are looking for the best brains, they are Norwegians. Why? It took a leader who understood and think beyond their immediate needs and planned ahead. So that is what I mean by obtaining a skill which you don't have to help you achieve your vision and leave a skill for your countrymen, so be it, so that they can also take over when needed. I can go on.
Okay, so let me answer that. Honestly, following your passion is the best, because you can't do anything that you are not passionate about. There are lots of people that have followed their passion, and that is what is feeding them. If it's a song or a music you want to do, and you are pursuing a degree of, for example, a pharmacist or anything, we expect that if you follow your passion, it can give you food on your table. It can put food on your table. We've seen a couple of them. I have seen a doctor who is a comedian in Ghana, and I think most of you know him, right? And he's doing well. He's not being paid by the Ministry of Health small money. He's getting a lot of money from the gig, from the comedy he's doing. There are a lot of degree holders who have become dressmakers, fashion designers here and there, and they sew something for you and they can charge 5,000 Ghana. I know of a fashion place in Accra where you even go and sit down and discuss, this is the way I want, that is the way I want. It's called consultants. You pay 250 Ghana. So you can imagine, just to consult, that this is the way I want the dress to be made here and there, is 250 Ghana for consultation. And then when they sew the dress for you, minimum is 2,000 Ghana. You just have to brand yourself so well that when you follow your passion, it can give you better money, can put better food on your table. I will recommend that the architect lady, prospective architects, if that is what you are passionate about because you have seen your father do so, I am sure if you are able to brand yourself well to a level, trust me, you will get the needed money. We are here and we had an architectural firm in UK who is a Ghanaian design the building. And you have seen the millions of dollars being paid to that person. Trust me, if you have a mind that I can be that architect who had the $20 million, you will get more. You just have to believe in yourself, brand yourself very well. I'll give you an example of branding. That to support the fact that if you brand yourself well, there is nothing that you are desiring that you can't get. The same water that quenches your thirst, we will put it in a sachet water bag. It's sold for 50p. If we put it in this, it is 2 cedis. If we put it in the glass bottle, those people, they have a glass. It is 20 cedis or more. If you also put it in a vase, you have seen there's a water called vase, which is being imported from Norway. And rich people in Ghana drink that same water. The end result is that you want water. But they have branded it in such a way that you pay for the branding. Brand yourself well, follow your passion, don't get distracted and say that, oh, this person followed this and did not get. There are a lot of dressmakers. When you go to market, you get somebody to braid this hair for you, and they will charge you, say, 100 Ghana. You can also go to a mall, you plait it, and they will charge you 300 Ghana. So brand yourself well as you follow your passion. Thank you.
So questions? I'll give priority to the senior high school students. Come here. Yes, so that you can ask and then you go and sit down. You people should understand. Yes.
Please, my name is Fosu Benjamin from Kumasi Academy, and my query goes to Dr. Sam. Please, during your speech, you stated that natural and human resources that are really crucial in the development of a country are found worthless in the hands of incompetent leaders. And there are majority of leaders in our country who doesn't have all the qualities of a good leader who can improve the country. So can we still hope for such leaders in our country to transform and make our country a better place?
Duly noted. Thank you very much. You can take your seats.
There are a lot of politicians.
My name is Apia Kubio Saivan from Tia Media Senior High School. Please, you were talking about nepotism where you give a job to someone who is incompetent. Please, with that, you see that it will be easy to say you wouldn't give a job to incompetent person, but a family member coming to you and you see the person is incompetent, but still you have to force to give the job to the person. How would you go about that? Thank you.
I think we'll answer those questions and then we'll come to our big men here. If you don't give a family member the job,
You're in trouble. Yeah, in trouble.
You take the first question. Do you have the microphone?
No, they've taken it.
We can
Can
hear
you,
you.
hello? Okay, in answering the question, do we have men of integrity with vision to run a country similar to what Singapore did? Yes, of course. I'll say I'm even one of them. However, if we don't change our system of choosing leaders, we will not end up getting the right materials to lead the country. Let me give you an example. In the current situation, somebody wants to be an MP, let's say in MPP administration, an MPP MP in Kumau. He's going through the primaries. This man is paying between 10 to 20,000 per delegate to win a seat. How many people is he going to pay? And this guy is going to earn about 18,000, 15,000 a month in parliament, but he's paying so much money to be able to win that seat. He gets into government. His main focus is the debt behind him. How do I pay this money with interest? Now make money for myself and my immediate family before I look at the country at large. That's when the inflated project comes in. That's where the serious corruption falls in, and so forth and so on. This status quo has been continuing and is still ongoing. And we are still voting MPP, NDC, knowing the end results. What I'm saying here is, as bright-minded people, let's sit back and look at what system we are pushing and analyze critically and see how best can we get an unencumbered person free of all, devoid of all these shenanigans, to be able to come and stand freely and run and implement the right systems. Because without the systems, we can't get the right results. So we need to have the system and also the political will to be able to implement, backed by the rule of law. That is the only way we can start seeing glory. Or else, if we see things as we're seeing now, let's not joke around. Let's not deceive ourselves. 4 years is going to come again. You tell me we are going to IMF. 4 years will come again. Your circumstances is going to worsen. So bright-minded young people, let's think outside the box. Let's be creative. Let's be innovative. Let's use a God-given wisdom to do things for ourselves and let posterity judge us rightly.
Thank you very much. No comments on the issue of family.
I think every leader, if you've led an institution or you are in a bit of a position that you can influence unemployment, you get people coming to you. You get your church, you get your family, your mom and your dad, your siblings. As I sit here as a woman, you have your church members, your pastor, your aunties, your cousins, everybody bringing you people that employ. And I remember my father of a blessed memory always say, every time I give you CV, you don't employ them. Why? And they expect that because you are there, you should employ. If you have integrity, the best thing you can do is to show them to the HR. Give the CV to the HR. If there is any interview they are conducting and the person is fit for purpose, they will interview. And then if you pass, they give you. But that's not what our family members are looking for. They are looking for immediate placement. It's not for the person to go through the mail. But that cannot go on in the Africa we expect, in the Ghana we expect. We expect that if you want somebody to be employed, let the person go through the right channel, learn, educate your own soul. When they call you for interview, pass, and the institution will employ you. So I have not employed anybody like that, honestly. At best, I will tell you, I'll give the CV to HR. And when they are doing the interview and you qualify, voila, you can be called. When they call you and you pass, you have passed. And that's it. And that should be the way a leader should do. You should not be influenced by political, pastor, this and that. That is why when people leave the country and they go elsewhere, that they are not being influenced, they are able to do better. Because if you also decide that the person is not qualified, but you still want to employ, at the end of the day, you'll be killing the institution. And they will be there saying, that's my sister there, that's my uncle there, that's my this there. They are the ones that do not. I have seen a lot of family members collapsing companies. I have seen even a lot of people just helping hands in drugstores and co, trying to collapse that business. They come in with the mind that my wafa has gotten this, so I think I can also get that. And because they are family members, people look on and allow. I've even seen a husband supporting other people insulting the wife, who is the leader. So it does happen that family members do a whole lot of damage to your institution. So if you want your institution to prosper, you leave the family members. And to that, I applaud Mr. Mwabing for that. He was never, if you come, you go through the mail. If they pick you, they pick you. I saw UT adverts in the newspapers. And believe you me, most of the work I have done, I see them in the newspapers. I apply. So when people have mentality that the newspaper advert, it is not true. And I'm sure all of you do have that mentality. Yafa omu dada, omu be wasting your time. It is never true. Even the work I did at Women's World Banking at the CU, I saw it in the papers and I applied. UT, I saw it in the papers and I applied. I was called. I saw it in the papers. They were looking for project officers. I applied. I went to their head office. The only thing I did, went to their head office and put the CV down there. And they called me for interview. The next level I was also going, and this is to the women, I did not qualify fully. I saw a company looking for a CEO, and I was managing only 5 people at UT as a credit manager. And they said they were looking for a CEO with more than 15 years banking experience. I didn't have that. I looked at it and I said, I will apply. I applied. They called me for interview. Some way, somehow, they called me for interview. The interview, obviously, I don't have 15 years. So when I called, they said, oh, if I employ somebody who has 20 years experience in banking. So I was not given the job. I was there 2 months down the line when the owner of the company called. I had a call from someone, and I responded. He said, I am the owner of this company. You came for interview as a CEO. And I said, but you have a CEO? He said, yes, but we need a deputy for the CEO. And the interview came second. So we need a general manager to support the CEO. I went there, they gave me. If I had not applied, I wouldn't have gotten the general manager. And when I entered, the CEO resigned, so I was automatic MD. By design, God has plans for everybody. So the women, when you see things, don't say, I have to cross this, I have to dot this, I have to do that. No. If they don't pick you, you have not lost anything. But you will lose a lot of things if you don't even apply at all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll take a few questions and then we'll see if we can take some more.
Thank you very much. My name is Nuhu Ismail, SRC Tiamadia Senior High School. As a human being, if you cannot control conditions within yourself, you cannot control conditions around you. And I'm so happy our speakers, especially Dr. Marvin, has taken us through memory lane. When I finished university, after contesting for SRC, I won, went to contest for KNUST presidency, I lost bitterly. And then I saw a need, the fact that young people cannot rely on themselves. I told my mentor that day to me that I was going back to senior high school to teach. And I went with me, a registered change ambassadors with a lot of hope, thinking I'll go and effect a lot of change over there. 20 years, 10 years down the line, I broke down. I was diagnosed generalized anxiety disorder because the change I thought I will make and the support I thought I would get. And when I say support, not financial support, I was just frustrated. I got depressed. I felt sick. My marriage went worse. Seriously. Then God being so good, I could have died, but I started seeing a new page, which is self-realization. Then the awareness, then the consciousness, then the mindfulness, and then I started getting stabilized. So we are dealing with a very big issue, as Dr. Marvin gave out. Now all the institutions that is supposed to be a trigger for that change are riding on the same weakness of the system, including parents. In fact, parents who profess to love their children want them to be dependent on them. They nurture them to be dependent on them, especially when the father and the mother don't agree. The father is pulling, the mother is pulling. I have just seen it. The senior high school students, you can see most of the confusion in their life is from that. So politicians, they've wrote on it. The religious bodies are not spared.
We're grateful for the insights, but I would like to see the question.
So the question now
we're
is,
pressed for time.
These institutions that should be helping us to overturn this kind of situation we have found ourselves are all reinforcing it. What alternative do we have?
What alternative is there?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, hello. My name is Edward Boateng Bosompim, and I would like to take a personal perspective from the speakers. Yeah, I wanted to know that is there a criteria for a direction to follow? For example, me, for instance, there can be a day that maybe I'll wake up, I'll be like, I want to be a photographer. The next day, I want to be a business person. I cannot actually decide which direction to follow. There are times that maybe someone will tell me, follow your interest or maybe follow your passion. By the next day, I've lost that interest and that passion. So is there some personal criteria to follow to actually choose a direction to go into? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And then Justice, No, you go ahead and ask so that we can ask all.
My question is quite pregnant, that's why.
It's quite...
It's for pregnant, from their speeches, all of them individually.
It's pregnant?
Pregnant.
It's pregnant?
Yeah.
Deliver the babies.
Fantastic. So, for Dr. Ankra, at the hem of all the things that you said, thank you very much for your speech, is management. We can see that in the universities, the highest course, and the course everyone runs after, is MBA, Human Management, Human Resource Management. What are we not learning right? What are we supposed to unlearn? And what are we supposed to relearn to curb this menace? Thank you very much. To Dr. Lily Bedu, Madam Lily Bedu, Mommy. Oh, sorry. So I've also had the opportunity to be on some few boards and also work with women. One thing I've realized is that even women themselves end up not supporting their colleague women. You would see positions, women will be shooting for it, and their own women will be shooting them down. Even the men end up supporting them most. How do we curb this system which is in existence? And to Captain, for change management, after everything here, we are all living to our individual places. What we expect is that we are taking something out of it to change the world for a better place. We are going to work in teams. For some of us, we are going to classrooms. As we are going with this mentality of change in an already corrupted system, what are the things practically we are supposed to start with to make sure that we see the change that we hope to achieve? Thank you very much.
The babies have been delivered safely. Dr. Ankara.
Hello. Okay. I will start with the gentleman that asked the question about the passion. I say entrepreneurship is a calling, similar to what Captain delivered perfectly in his presentation. Same way as men of God say they've been called to the ministry to pray and preach. It's the same way being an entrepreneur is a calling. Let me just give a story here. I have a friend in Cote d'Ivoire who runs several fertilizer producing plants. He employs more than 15,000 Ivorians. And he was very close to a government. Although he wasn't political, but he was just doing his good work, paying taxes, employing people, so the government developed a liking towards him. And in the end, it looked like, on the surface, they will have some relationship. Fast-track the line, there was change of government. A new government took over, and allegations of him being with the previous government, they shut down his business. He went to the president and said, Mr. President, I'm worried about the 15,000 employees you've shut down the business because they are going to lose work and their families depend on them. I am an entrepreneur. I'm picking my bag, just this bag, and I'm going to Guinea. You'll hear of me in 3 years. But your people will come after you during the elections. Lo and behold, he went to Guinea the first 2 years. He set up a factory, employed about 3,000 people. The president now had to beg and bring him back to Cote d'Ivoire to open the facility for him to work. What am I saying here? If you have the calling and the desire to do something, nobody can take it away from you. As many giftings and ideas that you would want to put out, you want to put on, so far as you have the calling to do that particular business, you would succeed and excel. Because you would not look at failures, you would not look at the circumstances around you, you just chase the passion and the desire in you to achieve what you are looking for. So that is the kind of spirit that I'm encouraging young men here today to develop, that have a passion for something, desire to do something, and don't let anything stop you from achieving that. So that's how I'll answer that question.
To Justice's first baby.
To Justice, there's nothing you should unlearn in your curriculum. I can tell you, you are having a perfect education here. The challenge is, are you able, do you have the freedom to leave this institution and execute what you know without any influence or anybody attacking you? What I say is, if you go to these institutions and the system is bended and you are the bottom, no matter how good you are, if you don't have the principle to resign and make noise about it, you can't change it because the top is rotten. So the only thing you have to unlearn is let's start addressing the systems which are not suiting us to execute what we've learned from the schools. Because the curriculum work has no issues, but the attitudinal issues, the things around it, the systems that we go and get ourselves involved when we leave the academic work is what needs to be addressed. And if you look through across the whole nation, almost every institution is corrupted and is bended. It needs to be straightened. The systems needs to be checked and straightened. And it needs the top work where a leadership would hold a mantle and say, enough is enough. Our rule of law have to work. I don't have to drive without a license and pay bribe and go, and the one with the license will stand on the roadside for 1 hour because the police have stopped him. These things are what we are looking at. The attitude now, the systematic failures in the system is what needs to be changed, not your curriculum work.
Auntie Lily. Microphone, please.
I think it's supposed to be on. The question was, women don't even like women. I think that was the summary question. Okay, so I began my presentation by saying that if you're a woman, you need to learn, you need to have the knowledge. If they call you into the room, you belong there. So you need to bring something to the play. Most women, I won't vote for you because you are a woman. I will vote for you because you are bringing something on the table, because you can do better than that man, because you are intelligent and you deserve the position. Because we are women and we equally know that we have our own unique vulnerabilities and we understand what we can do and what we can't do, the women leaders themselves, me included, know that if you are not exhibiting those symptoms, it's difficult for us to vote for you. If we can't see the fact that you are a change agent and you are ready to change the status quo, and that you are not going to use the fact that I have kids, they will be crying, I can't work beyond this time, I have a husband I have to run to, I have to cook, I have to do this. If we see that symptoms in you, we will not vote for you. The men are not aware, so they will normally vote for you anyway. But since we are aware, that is why people think that the women don't like women. So we are here as part of the sensitization. I think I thank the organizers for bringing a woman and equally speaking to the women here. That we need to nurture you from senior high school moving forward, so that you know that you have to have the brains. You should have the technical know-how. You should bring something into the table before you can get a vote from that woman. If what you are just bringing is the fact that they born you woman and they born somebody a man, it will be difficult for the woman to vote for you. So please, upgrade your knowledge, upgrade your skills, and also don't talk that I don't have money, I don't have this, nobody is paying this, nobody is training me, nobody is doing this. No, you have to train yourself. Trust me, when you become a leader, nobody trains you. Since I left UT as a credit manager, and I went to a finance institution and became a general manager, from that time, nobody took me to any school. When the training comes, it's below general manager, below that. So the capacity, we give it to you. They expect that as a leader, like you have everything. That is where you need to self-tutor your own soul. I had to teach my own self, take a leave to go and learn people management. Because when I came from UT, na me nusu ye she. Because everything is like in an emergency room. That is how we were working. They train you like a soldier man as PK is. That when somebody comes to you and needs something, the person really needs it now. So within 24 hours, 48 hours, you need to deliver. But some institutions don't understand that. And they would think that, why are we in a theater? Are we in an emergency ward? Is a loan the person wants? Let's take our time and put it together. But no. So sometimes your technical know-how will take you there, but your people management will bring you back. And nobody, normally, they give you position based on your technical know-how, and they don't add the management skills. And thanks to UT again, the only company I've ever worked with, that when they promote you to a management position, they give you 3 months training on people management. You go round, they pay for you, go and learn so that you can come and manage the people. Technically, you are good. What about the people? People just promote people anyhow, without giving them the needed tools, the skills to work. Yes, you know you are very good. We've promoted you. But what happens to how I'm going to manage my co-worker? I have been managed by somebody all this while. How do I manage my co-worker? I don't. So please, if you're a woman here, upgrade yourself. Be that person and trust me. If the women see that you can do, they will vote for you. It's just that most of the women too, we don't see that zeal in them. We don't see that power that indeed they are go-getters. They want to challenge the status quo. They are resilient. They want to change. In fact, you have to even be flexible. Flexible in content, flexible in culture. I have seen my Muslim ladies, hi to you guys, ladies. If you are a Muslim or a Christian, don't say, I am so rigid, I can't do this because I'm a Muslim. I can't do this because I am a Christian. Based on that, if I'm on a panel and I see that rigidity in you, I can't vote for you. So you have to be flexible as well, in content and in culture. After the meeting, we'll be there. We can engage more. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've listened to my panelists and I haven't said much because Doc mentioned the fact that we must change the current system and get institutions and systems to work, and I'm quiet about it. We all know that. The question is, under the current dispensation, how do we do it? What we can do on our own is to bring up our children well, to create the right cultures in the institutions that we had, and certain things that we do which is painful, and generally it's because, as I said, generally Africans are bad people. For those of you students at the back, even when you are bright, they hate you for being bright. We are envious for no reason. We are jealous for no reason. Instead of getting close to understand and improve yourself, the African will want to bring you down first. But the big question that you have to reflect on all the time, how do we change the leadership in this country? It's the biggest question that we have. Because we don't have the way of selecting leaders who believe in systems and institutions, then let's forget it. Because people can make it on small levels, but the whole country will not turn around. You can be successful in your company, you can be successful in your school, you can be successful in some kind of institution, but those will be little drops of water, which will never make a mighty ocean because they will evaporate. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There was a question on by the SRC patron on alternatives. Who would want to address that? He says all the alternatives, all the current systems are flawed in such a way that it's quite difficult to impact change. So what are the alternatives? Yes.
Well, the alternative is us, bright-minded young people who can decipher between truth and lies, good and evil, playing what we know. When the politicians come to you, ask them, where is the gold? When we start interrogating these questions, and people have value in the things we contribute, and they know we can't be taken for granted, that is one step forward. And if we keep doing, we would be able to change the status quo. Recently, I was doing a student journal. I was on Zoom with about few students, and one postgraduate student said to me, "Doc, but you know, I'm hungry. I need to eat wache. They bring me the money. I have to spend the money because if I don't, I have no food to eat." I said to the gentleman, we have 14-year-olds in Arab countries starving themselves for days just to push a policy or make a statement. It turned to a time that a generation has to sacrifice for the generation behind them. So ask yourself, are you that generation? Are you willing to sacrifice for the ones behind you? Let's interrogate these questions. Let's keep having these discussions, and I'm sure we'll surely have a solution.
Thank you so much. We have gone beyond the time we were supposed to stay here for. And so I will leave the organizers to give their thank yous, but I'd like to thank our panelists for their time so far. Our organizers have prepared something in appreciation to organize our panelists, if it is kindly around. First of all, I'd like to invite the Grasa KNUST president, Mr. Fred Parker. Where are you? Fred, was Fred here? Fred is not here. Okay, then his able deputy, the vice president, Vivian, please come up and help us do this presentation. We'll do our very first presentation to Captain. Kwame, can we have, good, Captains first, yes. We would want to appreciate them for taking time of your busy schedule. Like Auntie Lily said, and they're over year 6, but we're joining in about. Captain has possibly more important engagements, but he cancelled all of that to be here with us. So, Madam Vice President, if you could kindly help us do this presentation to Captain, if you could, yes. Yes. Oh no, we'll not read it. We don't have time. Captain will read it and he will appreciate it. So, Captain, we want to say a very big thank you for making time to be here. Almost grateful. The next presentation, okay, I'd want to call on Frank. Frank goes to Mr. Azazi President. Help us do the next presentation. To Mrs. Charlotte Ilibedu. And then Mr. Isaac Samoa, if you're around, you do the very last presentation for me. He's not around. Then head of communication, I'm not sure, you do that for us. Auntie Charlotte, we're very, very grateful. Thank you so much for your time. He's around. Where is he? Okay, Mr. Samoa, yes. Okay, I'm not sure he's here. It is Inclab. Inclab, we don't put faces. So, our head of communication, yes, will help us do this presentation to Dr. Samankra. We're very, very grateful for your time and the knowledge you have shared with us. We're so grateful for. Thank you so much. Okay, so now I invite one of the organizers to officially give us a vote of thanks, and then we'll disappear. Madam Vice President, Madam Secretary, the General Secretary for Grasa KNUST, Veronica, would give us the vote of thanks. Auntie Vero. Oh, let's put our hands together for her.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Good afternoon to all of us. On behalf of GRASA, KNUST, and Inclab Foundation, I stand before to say a very big thank you all for gracing us with your presence. First and foremost, I want to thank the Almighty God for giving us such a wonderful day, and as one family, we've been able to be here to witness this year's leadership conference. Our second gratitude goes to our invited speakers and our guests, Captain Prince Kofi Amoaben, Dr. Sam Ankara, Mrs. Charlotte Lily Beidu, for sharing their knowledge and their invaluable insights concerning this year's conference. We say a very big thank you to you all. Our next of gratitude goes to our invited guests, all the SHS schools invited. We are very grateful that you were able to be here to share your, to engage with us and also give us, ask us questions that were provoking to us all. Last but not the least, we want to appreciate all the attendees and all student leaders as well, that they were able to grace this year's conference. We say a very big thank you to you all, and we hope that you being here, you carry the spirits and the innovative ideas to our various homes and make sure that we will share and drive the positive change and shape our better future. Thank you very much.
Okay, now before we leave, I would want to leave you with these words. Leadership in its many forms has the power to transform individuals, organizations, and entire communities. It is the driving force behind innovation, progress, and positive change. So with that in mind, let us go into the world and be the leaders we are supposed to be. Thank you so much for gracing this occasion, and have a good afternoon. My name is Henry Adams. From here, please take note of the following announcements. The ushers would help lead us out by giving us our item 13. We'll do a very quick photography session. Those of you who would want to meet them, Auntie Lee is staying, so don't worry. You get the opportunity to talk to her. Captain has to quickly run and do something. I think Doc also has to do the same. But try and reach out to them. I think on LinkedIn, for instance, I have connected with Dr. and Auntie Lillian. So go on these platforms and try and reach out to them. I'm sure they have time that they'll reach out and then. Okay. Okay. Also, Captain brought some copies of the first volume of the UT story, the volume 1. He's given us a very nice discount. So for those of you who are interested, you will see Veronica, the General Secretary, and then she'll help you get a copy. It's just 150 cedis. Sikana de pizza no. For just one. So just get a copy from. And for those who answered questions, I have a very nice surprise for you. Yes, a very nice surprise for you. Copies of the book. We'll deal with that after we leave. Once again, thank you very much for coming. We'll take quick photographs with our guest and then we'll leave. Mr. Photographer, please come and take me first, and then we'll think about everybody else. Let's.